Welcome to the channel, Stroke Daddy, where we love golf so much, we give it extra strokes. Today, you'll be golfing with me, Malcolm Greenhouse, and you already know I go by Mr. Hit It Again. If I don't hit it again the first time, I'm just gonna hit it again. We got some special guests in the building. You're in for an experience that's sure to give you a citation.
It's your favorite golfer's favorite golfer, Big Fan, aka the long stroker. If you ain't stroking it long, you did it wrong.
I like to play golf, she call me Stroke Daddy. I stroke it so good, she yell Stroke Daddy. She know daddy long legs, she know step daddies. But when she met me, she met a Stroke Daddy. I like to play golf, she call me Stroke Daddy. I stroke it so good, she yell Stroke Daddy.
As he said, we got some special guests who, on a day-to-day basis, sacrifice and protect and serve us in their daily jobs. So without further ado, you gentlemen mind stepping in the camera, letting SD Nation know who you are.
I'm Jordan, police officer, been one for 8 years.
Bracey, police officer, 5 years.
All right. So, that's a job that is a thankless job, but, usually people who become police officer was inspired by something or someone. So can you mind telling us who or what inspired you to become a police officer?
Well, for me, I was a security officer at a major metropolitan hospital for about 10 years and didn't really see myself making that jump forward until a gentleman that went to my same barbershop showed up to receive a prisoner that we had detained for rowdy behavior at the hospital. So he and I spoke, and he asked me, when are you becoming a police officer? And I was like, it's probably not something I want to do. He's like, well, you're doing the job. You probably should get paid for it. I was like, you know what? Made a whole lot of sense. So about 1.5 years later, decided to make that jump and did so, and been an officer ever since.
Yeah. How about you, Jordan?
So out of high school, joined the Marines, men's department of the Navy, as Malcolm said. So didn't really know what I wanted to do. Went into college undecided. Just decided at one point, what's the same thing that I can do in the military on a smaller scale. Being a cop was the only thing I could think about that I wanted to do. So
makes sense.
took the jump and never looked back.
Continuing to protect and serve us. So we thank both of you gentlemen for your service, for sure. So,
Appreciate it for sure.
Speaking of just how proud we are, what has probably been the proudest moment of you all as a cop?
Well, I know one of my first really, really proud moments was sending off a retired police officer in a way that I believe everybody should be able to walk off this profession. When I was coming in as a rookie officer, there was another officer who was 30 years in, and he was walking out the door as I'm coming in. And we took to each other really well. I got an opportunity to participate in his last ride, which is not a sad thing in our field, but a glad thing. And it's maybe 30 officers in the procession that he leads, lights and sirens, driving the streets of the city for the last time, giving him a really great send-off. And I remember saying to myself, like, every officer should be able to walk off this job this way. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen, but it's one of the coolest things I remember being a part of, and glad to have taken part in a couple of those since that time.
Sure, I love to hear that, man.
Yeah, nice.
How about you, Jordan?
So every year, get letters, random people in our mailboxes at work. I just continue to get the same ones over and over from helping people, whether it's arresting them, taking them to jail, getting them off the street, saving their life that way, or taking a drug addict, getting them into rehab out of state, away from family, friends, negative influences, and now they're Fortune 500 VPs out in California on big companies. So just receiving those letters, those thank you letters, those, hey, thanks for going the extra mile, when I really didn't go the extra mile. I just did what every other officer would do. So
You feel like what you did was your job, but for the rest of us, it is going above and beyond. So we certainly appreciate that. I ain't never sent the cop a thank you letter because it's always angry when I get pulled over. But no, seriously, you've been able to impact those lives positively. So I love to hear that. Well, hopefully you all can protect and serve us on this golf course, because we're going to need to get close to that pin down there. So our first challenge we're going to do is closest to the pin. I think you get 3 shots each. First up is Mr. Hit It Again. And right off the bat with no warm-up, 220-yard downhill par 3. Can you stick the green?
Oh yeah, my last name Green. So
That's what I'm talking about. Let's see what you got, Dan. What you going to hit from 218?
218.
Ooh, it's downhill, so it's probably only playing like 200, maybe 195, give or take.
Ew, that's ugly. That's about right. Coming straight out of the whip.
You got next. I think Bracey, you up?
I should have just hit
All
my
right,
six.
you're going to definitely need a bigger club than that. What club you got? Come hit. Yeah, let's go
what
with
we
the one
do.
down.
Yeah, you
jumbo
don't have to
grip
start
over
off
there.
on 216.
218. So, Bracey, we know you're not a
not my
consistent
regular.
golfer. So, you know, we gonna tee you up
Appreciate that.
right here.
A little assistance.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
send it.
See what we can do.
Remember, keep them knees bent.
Yes, sir.
He's gonna get a hole in one.
That would be what happened. Hey, that's good contact. Get going. Get going. Hit the car path and bounce. You might have beat Mr. Hit It Again still, though.
Well,
Bracey, this is your first time playing golf and being out here hitting off in the golf simulator.
right.
What has been challenging for you becoming a police officer? What is something you had to adapt to?
For me, I would say one of the greatest challenges is checking my attitude. At the end of the day, we respond to a lot of circumstances and situations where people aren't at their best. People aren't doing things that they should be doing or that societally we want them to be doing. And a lot of times you can assume the worst if you don't watch yourself when you get keyed up on that radio and sent to a call. Oh my gosh, here we go again.
Yeah.
But you've got to put yourself in the mindset that, hey, I don't know what's happening until I get there. I'm here to serve, and it's sometimes inconvenient based upon maybe something we've got going elsewhere to drop what we're doing and go to do something. But it's what we're here to do. So making sure that I'm in the right mindset, each call, going out there to give my best to each, citizen is something that I've had to watch.
You know, I love hearing that answer because self-awareness. That tells me you're self-aware and you're thinking about that.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes you the awesome cop that you are.
Appreciate that.
To be able to help our people.
Great
one.
shot,
All right.
especially to never have played.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Yeah.
That might be the one.
I like. Oh, it's drawn too, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah. All right. Considering we right out of the car to 218, I ain't really gonna complain about none of these shots. Let's be clear.
Aim to the right of the green and see what that happens.
Same swing to the right of it.
A little golfer tip. Yep, there it is.
Now watch that one
That'll
not
come
draw.
back.
It's not gonna draw enough.
It's coming back.
It
Oh,
is
it's coming back.
It definitely is
You're
coming
welcome.
back.
Thank you, sir. That's too much club. Oh!
Nice shot.
Shouldn't have told you that. Shouldn't have told him.
Thank you, sir. See? He protecting and serving on the course still.
Here we go.
All right. We got one on the green. He hitting the 8-iron because, he hit 8 irons 200 yards is what he told me earlier today.
Little 6-iron.
Ooh, pulled. Oh, now you a fader, so that should leak right in there.
Ooh, that's too
should.
strong.
Come on.
That's gone.
Nah, I think it's just
No.
a drop off. Boom. That's a good number. Just didn't break as much as you, or cut as much as you wanted. Speaking of this hole is very challenging for all of us, clearly. What's been probably your toughest challenge as being a police officer?
Toughest challenge? I'm gonna have to say responding to scenes that involve kids. I think we both can agree that showing up to kid getting beat, or worse, being a father too. So that
Yeah.
kind of hits close to home, and
For sure.
that's probably give me a fatal crash, give me
yeah.
a dead body all day. But kids, that's a whole nother realm.
I couldn't even imagine. Could not imagine.
Now, watch this hole in one here, boys.
Ooh, that should be money. That should be money. We might have to call him J Money.
That's the
Too much.
It's too much right. Now I see the
Too
little yellow
much.
tracer, short right. Ooh, man, you might need to pull out the 5-iron, buddy. What might be some lessons you would share to either someone who is a new police officer or thinking about becoming a police officer?
Listen to your FTOs. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to think outside the
FTO,
box.
field training officer.
officer.
Okay.
Yep. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Get all the knowledge you can. Be a sponge, and just treat people the way you want to be treated.
I like that. I like that.
So
All right, Mr. Hit It Again. This is all yours to win. 120, what you hitting? It's clearly playing like more. We should probably look at the wind. No, the wind only 2 miles per hour in the face.
I'm gonna try 56.
Hit a 130.
What if I don't get it?
Yeah, that ain't gonna get there.
You don't think so?
Nah.
You know what? I'm gonna listen.
Yeah.
He just said
See,
listen.
talk about listening. All right, I gotta tell SD that this is the first time in the world he ever listened to me. So hopefully he hit a hole in one or hit a good shot, cause he don't never listen. He the most hard-headed golfer I know.
Hey, you live and you learn.
All right. That was good. Come on.
there it is.
Turn. Just go. Get over. Hey, the funny part, you found the one dry spot to the right. All right.
Hey, no way. That's
All right, I'm still leading with a 50 average, which is pretty bad, folks. So, well, I guess that one is over. Step over here so the folks can get a good look at that screen at the top. What's that dude name? Oh, the long stronger one. My bad. So, no, it's been a huge pleasure getting to play some close to the pin with you all. You mind stepping over here so we can get back in here? One of the things that you just shared with us is kind of your lessons about listening to FTO and things like that. Bracey, what would you, any advice or lessons you would tell?
I would tell people not to count themselves out if they are considering coming into a career in law enforcement. We need people from diverse backgrounds. We need people who had upbringings that are different. You had a lot, you had a little. You were great in school. You weren't so great in school. We work with the public and we deal with people from all walks of life. So we need people from all walks of life. And I would definitely tell anyone who maybe has gotten into a department, maybe is a rookie going through that FTO period that he talked about, to just breathe through it. It's an overwhelming job. I don't think that once you are cut loose and you're on your own, that you're really comfortable or really feel completely confident that you're able to do the job for maybe your first 3 years or so. Like you, with as much as you do know when you get cut loose, there's still so much that you don't. So there will be overwhelming times that you experience at FTO, and just breathe through it, take it one step, one day, one call at a time. And it's something you'll certainly begin to wrap your hands around and be more confident in as you go.
I like that. Speaking of it being overwhelming, I did some, what you would call it, like basic infantry training for the military. And one of the big mistakes that I made is we was about to go on site to do the training, and I had to use the bathroom. So I unhosted my gun and put it on the bathroom door. And then
You left it there.
I left it there.
That's why they don't put the Navy.
See, that's why they stick to swimming in the Navy.
Right on boats.
So that was a mistake I made. Once you make a mistake like that, you will never make it again.
Absolutely.
So I was happy
No doubt.
I made it then. Because so when I did get deployed, that was one thing that I never did. So was it any moment that y'all had that was similar? It was that occurred, and you said to yourself, "I will never allow this to happen." You know? Just some, if you can, if you have any of those type of moments.
So
Think for a second.
for me, I definitely had a very similar situation. We used to have a jail in the city where I worked, and going to jail is a secure facility. So you put your weapons up before you take a prisoner in there, and you get them back when you come out. And I remember during my training period, I took a guy out, to jail, got on the other side of town, and actually went in someplace to a gas station to get a coffee, and realized I didn't have my gun. So I got back in the car and I tell my FTO, I'm like, if they're gonna send us on a call, if you could just let them know we're not gonna be available for at least another 5 minutes or so. And he's like, why won't we be available? I said, well, if you must know, I don't have a gun right now. So thankfully, he's a really good guy. He said, I'm not gonna dock you right now because there has been a time where probably each and every last one of us has done what you did. Just make sure you don't do it again.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, happened.
How about yourself, Jordan?
When I was younger officer, like 1 or 2 years on, like Heath mentioned earlier, not letting attitude get the best of you. Went on a call and hit kind of close to home, and I was just let's do a new one. everything is face attitude the whole time, custom, basically very unprofessional. Looking back on it now, but yeah, haven't done that since.
Yeah, but that takes a big man to, you know, understand and be able to reflect on the situation and say, you know what, I made a mistake. I won't ever make it again.
Don't get me wrong. People deserve it.
Oh, let's be clear.
They deserve a good attitude.
I watched, and I'm probably one of the people when I get pulled over. I was only going 20 over. It's okay, you know. But no, I honestly, I mean, that means a lot to be able to reflect and say what it won't happen again, and whether it's something that, you know, where it was in a lockbox or whether it's something where, you know, it could have affected somebody differently. Ultimately, we live, we learn, and we grow, and so we get better at what we do. I wish I was a little bit better at golf. I wish I was a little bit better at golf. Trust me, that's the only thing that I ain't living and growing and getting better at.
Out. This has been nice. Yeah.
But speaking of golf,
3,
though,
4, 5 times.
for sure. Speaking of golf, you know, how long have you been playing golf? I know you've been playing for a little bit of time.
When did COVID hit? 2020.
Yep.
So the year before that. So what is that? 5 years?
2019?
4 or 5 years?
4 years, give or take.
Yeah. So 4 or 5 years, I got back into it. I played when I was younger. Wasn't really good.
Yeah.
Kind of got back into it before COVID when I got into this line of work a little bit more and realized that, hey, a lot of cops golf. So might want to get good at it.
That makes sense.
A lot of
Then the
people just starting to
golf
golf in
outings, too.
general. Yeah,
Golf outings,
yeah.
I mean, keg stands and on the golf course, it's great.
I see you
still ain't never
I
done
see you been going to a golf outing about every year, about in April
we
or
do,
so.
yeah, I got a group, 2 groups that we golf with. We do 4 to 5 every year. They're the same ones.
Oh,
every
okay.
year, but, yeah. One gets rowdy.
There you go.
A little too rowdy.
That
You know,
no such
I've had the
thing
wife
on the
pick
golf
me
course.
up a few times, but you know.
I love it. What's been your favorite? Have you been able to like travel and play like courses outside the city? What's been probably the favorite course you played of all time?
King's Course, King's North, down in. It's got a hole. I forget what it's called, but it's a big sea. With a nice
it's an
island
island green?
in the middle. No, island in the middle of a lake, and you can either go around. It's a par 5. If you go around, it's going to take you 5 shots to get there.
But you
It's
can
like
land on the
600 yards, but you can go to the island and get there in 2.
Tell the truth to the people now. Somebody gonna fact check you out there.
Straight into the water. Yep. Hooked it right into the water.
I love it. I love it.
And then I hit my hybrid onto the green, so
There you go.
ended up parring.
Still made a par.
Oh, nice,
Straight in the
Hey,
water.
I'll
That
take
ain't a
that.
bad to take.
Good
So
recovery.
I know you're not a huge golfer. You got any experience with like Top Golf?
Top
putt-putt?
golf is
yeah.
about what I've done, man. I got out there, a couple buddies, made a fool of ourselves, but had a good time, and it's surprisingly convenient, man. They got, you know, warmers out there. You can be out there any time of year. So I've had a lot of fun doing Top Golf, but nothing really, you know, more in depth like this. So I appreciate y'all having me.
No, for
We
sure.
appreciate you for coming. After doing this, you think you give it a shot? Or
Definitely, man.
pick
It's
up
something
club?
like, you know, just a few little pointers that I've got today have helped improve exponentially what I've been doing prior to that. So, nah, man, it's something that you just need exposure to. And when you get exposed to new things, you find out that you like them. So golf is
Wait till
definitely
you take
one
your
of those
first
things.
18 holes, you're gonna be like, man,
Right.
can I do another 18?
Look, and it's gonna be on hole 18 when you hit that one good shot.
One
you
good
had
shot
all
of the
day,
round, yep.
And you gonna hit that drive 300 down the middle. Then you gonna hit that iron. Then you gonna 3-putt for a bogey, but it's still gonna be the best score.
I'm with it.
No,
I'm with
I
it.
love it, man. So, looking at our time, we got a little bit of time left. We had a situation we wanted to do, and it's gonna be called Over the Limit, right? So I'm sure y'all pull over a lot of people who speed and doing over the limit. But what we're gonna do is it's gonna be rapid fire. So we're gonna ask you questions quickly while you're trying to make some putts. So now you don't gotta hit the ball, you gotta put it into the hole. And so basically what we're gonna do is look at who can make the most out of 5 putts, but also in the fastest time. So it's a time and a quantity of made type of scenario. And we got some fun rapid fire questions we're gonna throw at you.
Oh yeah, these gonna be fun for sure.
Y'all ready? All right, let's go.